Hey guys, Phil here at Woods Tree Farm. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. I am going to do a little bit of bush hogging. I haven't done any of that for a little while. Well, it's not true. If you saw my last video, I did around the pond a little bit. And but other than that, the tall grass and stuff that's around the property, I haven't cut anything down since last fall. There's a little bit this spring where I was prepping for planting trees, but other than that, there's tall grass all over the property. So today I'm going to be knocking out, actually just behind me was last year's food plot, and earlier this year we cleared out some of the overgrowth along this field edge over here, but there's small seedlings that are starting to pop back up over there. So I'm going to knock that down. I'm going to clear last year's food plot because come August we'll probably spray that and plant something again, and then clear across the other side of the property is my one trouble area that I have with some just some soft ground, some muddy spot that just won't dry up. Even in the driest weather it's still soft. So I'm going to try to cut back all the grass that's over there. It is firm enough to drive on right now because it's been relatively dry here, and I'm probably going to, I don't know if I'll get around to it for this video, but once the grass is cut back over there, I'm going to put my scraper blade on one of the tractors. I don't know if I'll use this one or the Kubota, but I have an 8-foot scraper blade that came with the property, and I'm going to hook it up and try to create a little bit of a ditch over there to see if we can't get the water to flow out of that area every time it rains rather than collect in that area every time it rains. So probably the best solution over there is to put in some drain tile or something. I just don't know when or if I'm going to get around to that. So for now, maybe we can try to do the little bit of ditching over there to see if that'll work. Anyway, I'll save that for a future video. I'll quit talking and I'll go fire up the tractor and get started on this because this is going to be hot today and I want to get this done before it gets too hot. So here we go. Food plot area is done. I can feel it is heating up out here. So after riding around over there in the sun a little bit, figured I'd do something in the shade. This is what we call the triangle field. I am right next to, you can kind of see the different areas of the property here. So right over there is the fire pit, and right over there is what we call the hidden field. That's the bridge that we built a while back. There's a video on that. And that's where we have like the kids games and activities. There's a playhouse over there, and it's way at the back of the hidden field where there's this muddy spot that I was telling you about I want to fix up. But right now I want to go ahead and get along this tree line. For those of you who've been following along, you've heard this before. If you're newer to the channel, then you don't know. We got this property about 2 years ago, and prior to that it wasn't really kept up for a long time. So all of the tree lines have encroached in on all of the open spaces quite a bit, and we've spent a lot of time in a couple different spots clearing along the tree lines and trying to take back some of that encroachment. This field here I had done last fall. I trimmed some of the lower branches, took out some of the smaller trees, and then bush hogged all along this tree line. This tree line is you know, it slopes towards this little drainage area here. It's not really a creek. It only gets wet when it rains or when we have sustained periods of of wet time. So this flows into my pond, which is just behind the camera, and along this tree line, if we don't keep up with it, it tends to get really, really wet and the moisture just sits here. So what I'm trying to do is keep the grass cut back, keep the low-hanging branches cut down. There's some of that work that needs to get done right now. I'm going to be hitting the branches with the tractor. But that's my goal, is to get some sun on this area so that it can stay dry and not turn into a muddy mess come this fall and this winter. So I'm just going to do a couple quick passes here with the bush hog in areas where it looks like I can get in with a tractor. I'll probably back in a little bit into the tree line just to try to get back as much of the brush and briars and all that as I can right now. So this will only be 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll go over to the hidden field where that muddy spot is that I want to show you. Down there where there's a lot of shade cover, the brush along the tree line isn't that bad. Up here though, it's like all afternoon sun all day. That doesn't make sense. It gets a lot of afternoon sun. And there are weeds that are like, oh, we might be getting out of here. Some hornets flying around. I think I stirred them up earlier. Yeah, we're gonna go around this part. Tiptoe through. Anyway, where I want to get is over there. So there's some stuff over here along tree lines, like 5-6 feet tall. So we're just going to back up into all this stuff. Hopefully we don't stir up any bees. Knock all this down, get some sun on this area so that it can stay nice and dry through the fall. Hopefully. Anyway, here's the stuff right up through here. Some stuff here, you know, 5-6 feet tall, and then there's this established brush that I didn't get into last year. We'll see how far back we can push into that, see if we can get it dried out. So I thought I had the camera turned on when I was starting this, but I didn't, so sorry about that. Right over here is the fence line along the power line trail right there in the shade, and I've already tried to go as close as I can to the fence. I need to come in here with a brush cutter or something and try to get all the stuff that's growing up right on the fence line. And then I made a few passes already into this section of the hidden field. Right over there behind the tree, between the tree and the fence, is what has always been the wettest part of this. It's still wet and a little soft, but not so much that I really sunk down in it because we've just had a big dry period right now. So I'm just going to mow up the rest of this over here, and then I'll show you the area that I want to dig a ditch in, and we'll save that for the next video. So here's my problem area. I've tried to run the subsoiler through this area before and it just doesn't drain, or if it does, it takes way too long. So over there along the fence line, which is where I want to be able to routinely drive through if I need to, it's so soft, and it's been so soft in the past. There's some ruts in there that are a foot deep. So when I was bouncing through there with the tractor, we were digging in the dirt, or the cutter was digging in the dirt several times. So that'll all need to get smoothed out. But the low spot, I know it's always hard to tell slope on the camera, but from left to right, just over here, it slopes down into there, and from over there it slopes down in here. So right around where the tree is the lowest spot, and then throughout here right along the middle is the lowest spot. And then as we go down this way, you're not going to be able to tell, but just over there is slightly higher. So the water just sits in this low area here. So like I said, I think what I'm going to try to do, I might even end up taking that maple tree out, but I want to dig a ditch from over there straight down through here, and then over in that area is where the ditch is going to actually need to be the deepest, so that this water, or any water that collects over here, can actually get down that way towards the tree line. So I think I'm going to give that a shot. Like I mentioned, it'll be a little bit of a project and there'll be a bunch of digging there, but I don't know when I'll ever get around to digging a trench in here and putting in some drain tile, which is probably the best solution. So I'll try the ditch thing with the equipment that I have and the time that I have, and we'll see what goes from there. So that old brush cutter can really cut, man. I've never sharpened it. I've put oil in the gearbox a couple times. I've never done anything else to it. The deck's all rusty. It actually developed a new crack today, so I'll need to get that looked at. But that thing came with the property. Who knows how old it is, but it still eats. And I enjoy using that every single time, because it's pretty rewarding just to see this area that's all overgrown and then 20 minutes later cleared out. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Got some good work done and had some good tractor time, some good time in the seat. Now before the sun gets too high, I'm going to eat some quick lunch and try to get some other things done around the property, but I'm not going to film it. So if you guys got any questions or comments about what we're doing out here on our farm, leave those below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. I appreciate your support with that. And subscribe if you want to watch our future videos. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.